Welcome back to the Blaze and Debate podcast. Today's conversation cuts deep. We're shining a light on something we don't talk about enough: the heartbreaking reality of South African artists who gave everything to the movie and entertainment industry, only to end up broke, forgotten, and sometimes begging on the streets of Joburg.
Revo, thank you for bringing this up, because honestly, it's painful. These are people who once carried the nation's stories on their backs. They sacrificed their youth, their time, their health, sometimes even their families, to build the very industry we clap for. But when the cameras stop rolling, they're left to fend for themselves. No safety nets, no pensions, no support.
Exactly. You'll see someone who starred in a film you grew up in your acting, someone who made you laugh or cry, and now they're standing on a street corner with a cardboard sign asking for help. That's not just individual failure, that's systemic failure.
And the system pretends like it's not happening. Everyone loves to celebrate the glitz and glamour of premieres, awards, red carpets. But what happens when the lights go off? Why do we have veteran actors, legends of our culture, dying poor and hopeless while the industry profits off their names?
It's exploitation, Rebecca. Let's call it what it is. The industry takes and takes their faces, their talent, their energy, but it gives nothing back when they can no longer perform.
And the saddest part? These artists believed in the dream. They believed in telling African stories. They believed in lifting up the culture. They believed their sacrifice would build an industry that would protect them in return. But instead, they're left abandoned.
So here's the protest part. We cannot normalize this. We cannot sit back and watch icons of our culture die in poverty. We need structures, retirement funds, medical aid support, financial education, royalties that actually pay out. Artists are workers. Workers deserve protection.
Yes, and I'll add, this isn't charity. It's justice. It's respect. If you've spent decades building an industry, you shouldn't be discarded like trash when you can't perform anymore. That's dehumanizing.
Rebecca, if you could speak directly to the industry leaders right now, the producers, the broadcasters, the government bodies, what would you say?
I would say, stop clapping at the awards ceremonies if you won't clap for these people when they're hungry. Stop selling the dream of the arts if you're not going to take responsibility for the people behind it. South Africa's soul is in its storytellers. If you let them starve, you're starving the nation's spirit.
That right there.
We need a revolution of care. We need unions that fight harder. We need government policies that protect artists as workers. We need audiences to demand better for the people who shaped our lives through their art.
And until then, we're going to keep speaking, keep protesting, keep making noise, because silence is complicity.
It's gut-wrenching, Revo. These are people whose faces we recognize from decades of TV, film, theatre. Yet today, they're hospitalized, evicted, or pleading for help. None of that used to happen. And yet, it's happening.
Let's start with Nandi Nyembe. Despite decades of acting, she recently pleaded on video about financial hardship. Having spent 88,000 Rand on her son's medical bills, she couldn't cover her own living or medical costs.
Right, and it's not an anomaly. Jack Devnarain, chair of the SA Guild of Actors, says this is everyday life for so many because there's no safety net. Freelancers don't earn residuals when series get rebroadcast or syndicated. Once a project wraps, that's it. No more income.
Then there's actor Glenn Gabella. He starred in the popular soap Uzalo for years, and come 2025, he was publicly appealing for help, disclosed a heart attack, depression, and being evicted. He said, "I don't need to be rich. I just need to live a decent life."
And the pattern is chilling. Sina Makize, who's appeared in Isabaya and The River, pleaded for help after losing her home due to financial struggles. Former Generations actor Roderick Jaftha also revealed he was in dire financial crisis. These are faces from our screens, now asking for basic survival.
What about systemic issues? This isn't just about one or two actors. The SA Guild of Actors has repeatedly said multiple iconic performers, including the late Shalene Surtee Richards, Mary Twala, and Alan Bowie, died without claiming royalties on their work. Actors produce lasting value for broadcasters, yet receive no share in repeated revenues.
It's exploitation. Background actors often face inhumane conditions too, like waiting in tents without water or electricity, told they'd receive a small daily wage that never materializes. That was the case with the extras on Shaka Ilembe.
And even those in technical roles face precarious, unregulated work environments, with zero recourse, union protection, or fair pay. Filmer cases continue to surface where freelancers fund shoots out of pocket, then get dismissed when they seek reimbursement. Jack Devnarain paints a bleak picture. Actors aren't even recognized as employees. They're freelancers, with no legal protection under labor laws. Who owns our stories? The exploitation of South African creators. Well, let's keep blazing and let us expose how South African artists, legends, veterans, household names are abandoned by the industry once they can't perform. Today, we push the conversation deeper. Who actually owns our stories? Why do those who create the magic end up with nothing, while others all cash in?
Revo, this is the heart of the issue. Artists here sacrifice everything, but their work doesn't belong to them. Once they sign that contract, the broadcaster, the distributor, the production company, they own it. The actor doesn't see another cent.
Meanwhile, shows like Generations, Uzalo, Isibaya, they get rebroadcast, rerun, even sold internationally. Someone is making money every single time, but the performer, zero.
It's modern-day exploitation. Let's be clear. South African actors don't receive royalties for reruns the way American or European actors do. If you were in a soap 20 years ago, you could see yourself on TV today and not earn a single rand for that repeat.
It's like selling your soul for a once-off fee. After that, your image, your performance, it's generating wealth for someone else, forever.
And it's not just actors. Writers, extras, makeup artists, crews, everyone at the bottom of the chain gets chewed up and spat out. Imagine working 14-hour days on set only to see your name not even listed in the credits.
So the question is, who owns our culture, our stories? If the people who live them and tell them don't benefit, then who does?
Broadcasters, streaming platforms, international distributors. The same big players who market African stories globally, but refuse to pay African creators sustainable wages.
And government? Silent. Policies that should protect creatives are gathering dust. Unions are underfunded. When artists protest, they're told they're ungrateful or disruptive.
But let's not forget, the global appetite for African storytelling is bigger than ever. People around the world want our stories. But if the profits don't reach the storytellers, then we're just exporting pain dressed up as entertainment.
So here's our protest today. We demand royalties. We demand legislative reform. We demand that every rebroadcast, every stream, every international sale comes with a share for the people who made it possible.
Because art is labor. Labor deserves protection. And culture, our culture, isn't for sale to the highest bidder while the creators starve.
To our listeners, remember, when you watch a rerun, ask yourself, did the artist get paid for this? Chances are they didn't. That's why we're here, to keep the fire burning, to keep the debate alive. This was Blaze and Debate. Until next time, stay awake, stay angry, and stay loud. Peace. Ahebandam.